Okay. The actual reason why pros sit extremely close. I gotta hear this shit because this has got to be something out of like left field for me. Let me see this.
You may have seen some pro players sitting with their face almost touching the screen.
Look at this, bro. That's like, was that like 6 inches? Like you can kind of see like my monitor like is like right here, like right there for me. So if I want to go like this distance, I'd have to be like this. Like I can see like each pixel. Well, I probably wouldn't lean in that much. I'd probably just because I got like monitor arm, I could just bring the arm closer to me and whatnot. But like I can see the square pixels that are just in my monitor if my face is just in there like that.
And even some who sit very far back from.
This dude is fucking chilling. This dude, he's like chilling way the fuck back there. He's just like, guys, I just got an ace. What's up? Yo, bring me a margarita. This guy is fucking chilling.
From it. Right now, most of us are likely sitting at about an arm's length from the screen, wondering why these players have adopted such a radical position. And that's exactly what I'll be answering throughout this video, and believe me, there is more than meets the eye with this topic. There are some significant implications for your aim, mouse sensitivity, field of view, and even your ability to clutch in stressful situations. While I'll mostly be focusing on aiming in FPS games, there are some useful findings for other genres like MOBAs and MMOs as well.
Oh shit.
The obvious variable that's being changed when moving closer or further away from the screen is the size of it in our own field of view,
Right.
and subsequently the size of the targets on our screen. Depending on how you measure it, humans have about 200 degrees field of view horizontally and 135 degrees vertically. You can see this for yourself quite easily too. If you were to draw a line horizontally from your eyes, that would be 180 degrees. Yet when looking forward, you can probably see your own hand movements from just behind that line. To further put this into context, I'm currently looking at this target dummy in Apex Legends. My eyes are 65 centimeters away, and the target is 8 centimeters high and 3 centimeters wide. Before I tell you, take a quick guess as to what percentage of my field of view that this target occupies.
Percentage wise, I don't know, like somewhere between like, I don't know, 15% ish. I'm just guessing, like maybe less or maybe more, like maybe 15 to 20%.
If your initial guess was anything like mine was, then you're way off.
Oh shit.
Only 0.069% of my field of view.
Oh my god, I was way off. I was in the actual numbers. This isn't even a whole percent. This isn't even a 1/10 of a percent. God dang. Okay, let me okay, this is making sense.
If we assume it's a 2D rectangle, which it isn't, but it's close enough to get the idea.
Yeah.
If I moved closer, so I was 20 centimeters away, it jumps up to 0.7%, so almost 1% now. And if I go even closer to 5 centimeters away, it jumps all the way up to 9.6% of my total field of view. This shows us that the perceived target size grows exponentially the closer we get to the...
Bro, let me see. Like... Okay, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I mean, but if this video is trying to like convince me to like play closer, I don't know. Like I'm supposed to be wearing glasses because like when I wear glasses, I have like an astigmatism. So shit that's far away looks blurry, but shit that's up close, it's clear for me. And the only reason I wear glasses is to see things far away or like at night to like clear everything up. But I don't think it's like that big of an issue, but I don't know, maybe by the end of the video, I could be convinced to like move my monitor closer.
The screen. A 5 centimeter change when you're sitting back hardly changes anything, but 5 centimeters when your face is right up near the screen makes a huge difference. The other piece of this puzzle is the angle of our eye's ability to focus.
Uh-huh.
We can only see things in sharp, high detail in about 1 to 2 degrees, known as
Oh
foveal
shit.
vision. This extends out to about 5 degrees, becoming progressively less detailed and is known as parafoveal vision. In this sheet
Oh,
of numbers, when looking at the 8, I can comprehend the 7, 4, 7, 1 to the right, 1, 6, 8, 8 to the left, 3 and 3 above, and 0 and 2 below.
okay.
Anything past
Same.
that is an educated guess. The immediate numbers, so the 7, 1, 3, and 0, are very clear, but
Yeah.
every number past that becomes increasingly difficult to accurately see.
Yeah.
What's interesting about this example is that it can show off how your peripheral vision is used in.
That's crazy. Bro, there was this one time where at my buddy Julian Jordan's house, he was like, this is like when we were really young, and he like I was doing like some martial arts at the time, and I think he was trying to pick up some shit, and he got this like ninjutsu book, and it was like ways that ninjas, things that like ninjas do to like employ like stealth tactics or some shit like that. And one of the tricks he showed me that was actually crazy. Um, what was it? At like he showed me like a penny or a dime, and he showed it at me at like some distance, and he's like he kept on like moving it closer, and there was like a magical, not magical, but like there was a certain distance where where the coin, like he had it between his fingers, the coin just disappeared, but my eyes were like open, and I could not see the coin. I forgot like where it was exactly, and I was like, no fucking shot that this is real. And he did it to me, and I was like, holy crap, that's insane. So there is like some truth to like this like I guess being like really close, it seems.
Detecting light. When looking at the 8, I can still perceive where number 7s are, in particular because
Yeah.
of the extra black background around it.
Mm-hmm.
If we go back to the Apex dummy example, this foveal vision does a good job of accurately covering the top half of it, which means I can see this target in high detail when sitting about 65 centimeters from the screen.
Yeah.
At 10 centimeters, it moves into parafoveal and beyond.
Oh.
Being able to clearly see the head or even part of the chest is usually good enough for aiming purposes. That is
Mm-hmm.
not the conclusion though. This is just some useful groundwork to establish before moving into the in-game applications. A fascinating component of your distance to the screen is how it changes your perception of mouse sensitivity and the speed
Oh.
of targets moving on your screen.
Oh yeah.
Check this out, and you can try this too if you like. Here I am doing some close range flicks to a target while sitting a bit under arm's length from the screen. They're
Uh-huh.
consistent, and I have a good idea of how far to move my mouse to close that distance. But if I suddenly move very close to my monitor, I start
Get locked
over-aiming
in.
the flicks. The distance between my crosshair and the target is the same, my sensitivity is identical, and despite this, I am now over-aiming. What we have changed is the size of the target and the distance between it and my crosshair within my own field of vision.
Huh.
Because the distance appears to be larger, I feel like I have to aim further than before. The exact same thing happens if you change your field of view in game. If I go from 105 to 80, I suddenly start over aiming,
Oh my
despite aiming
god.
the exact same centimeters per 360.
Oh well, yeah.
The opposite also happens.
It's this weird thing where it's like whenever you like lower the FOV, the camera is just like pushed in, and I mean, like he said, it just, even though your CM didn't change, it just feels like it's faster.
When increasing field of view and or increasing the distance to the screen, you start to under-aim and feel like your sensitivity is suddenly lower. This is also why we don't use a centimeters per 360 conversion for our ADS and zoom. It may seem logical on the surface that you should move your mouse the same distance for a 360 no matter the zoom, but in practice it doesn't work. I'll quickly explain this using an example I made for a Kovacs video a while back. At 100 horizontal field of view,
Uh-huh.
if we move 1 degree to the right, it will move 1/100th of the scene out of view. And
Okay.
at 1 horizontal field of view, if we move 1 degree, it will move 100% of the scene out of view.
Oh.
So, even if you use the exact same centimeters
Oh, this is the bot. I was like, what the fuck is this white thing?
per 360 for both examples, they will feel wildly different as the pixels per degree differs greatly. This is precisely why we don't use a direct centimeters per 360 conversion for scopes, as the change in pixels per degree can make them feel extremely fast in comparison. This is why scopes have sensitivity multipliers attached to them.
Yeah.
While moving our eye.
Yeah, generally, whenever you, in general, this is not like an absolute, but like, I mean, at least for Apex, you can choose to like optionally lower the sensitivity whenever you scope in. Like at hipfire, let's say you play at like 40 cm or whatever, and then whenever you scope in, you know, Apex was so gracious that they even had a per scope option to mess with each scope sensitivity to select the percentage of that initial like 40 cm per 360. So let's say if this is like the 10x, let's say if you want it at 0.9%, you're going to end up getting, I mean, I don't know, like a 42, 3 or something, cm or something like that. Or you, I don't know, maybe you'd actually want it a little bit more, like maybe like 0.6 or 0.7%. But then on like the closer scopes, like either like a 2 or a 3x, you might want it at like maybe 0.8 or 9. And essentially that's going to turn like your hipfire, which is at 40 cm, into something slower. So it might skew on the slower side of like, I don't know, like 45, 46, 47. Maybe if you go, you know, a little bit more, you just gotta have to feel it out.
Eyes closer to the screen isn't technically changing the game's pixels per degree. The same principle applies. By moving closer, the same on-screen movements are suddenly moving objects around our scene more drastically than before, giving the appearance of things moving further and faster. You may be thinking that this sounds a bit back to front. Doesn't high field of view usually make things feel faster? Well, yes,
No.
but that's primarily
Yes and no.
because of the environment warping toward the edges.
Yeah, there's this weird thing with FOV. There's like the center of your screen, which is like the normal field of, or like your normal, like your focus point. But then if you switch it all the way to like 110 and you start to look at the shit that's like on the corners of like your game, everything will just look stretched. And it will only come into like actual view when you move the thing to the center of your screen. The moment you start to look away, it will stretch out to the side.
Around the center, things are just as stable as they would be on a lower field of view, and the center of the screen is what we care most about when aiming.
Yeah.
It's getting a little outside the scope of this video, but I may as well quickly cover it here.
Yeah.
Pros and players alike tend to play on higher fields of view when available. Most probably put this down to seeing more information, but there's more to it. Aiming feels easier on a higher field of view because of that perceived lower mouse sensitivity. You can think of it like gaining the precision benefits of low sense without incurring the physical limitations that come with playing on a low sense.
Oh my god. Do I have that same pad? There's no shot that's a fucking Artisan. Artisan don't make big ass pads like that. And yeah, I got a fan over here on my right, dude. Except it's not a circle fan, it's like a tower fan. Because this shit's fucking hot. This is an actual depiction of a low sense aimer. And what actually happened is that even though he fell off his chair, his reticle only moved like, I don't know, like maybe like a body length.
For example, 35 centimeters at 110 field of view in Apex, which is equivalent to 123 horizontal field of view, is starting to feel pretty low, but in lower field of view games like Overwatch at 103 horizontal field of view, 35 centimeters feels more like a mid-range sense.
Yeah.
To best utilize higher FOVs, you want to avoid that weird warping at the edges. Watch this. At 110 field of view and my typical screen distance, there's some warping at the edges,
Yeah. Um, I don't know how to like show this.
and I can almost see
Uh,
the
well, there's like
lines
a lot
here.
of ghosting that's going on too. Um, like you see how this target is like more shaped like a square, and it's obviously a square. But you look over here, and all of a sudden, it turns into a rectangle. That's because of the warping effect that goes along with the higher FOV, like square, rectangle.
Where it seems to start. If I move back, the warping gets much worse. When I'm very far
Oh shit, that's crazy.
back, it honestly looks atrocious. Yet if I move further forward, it all but disappears from my perception, and
Oh yeah, that's crazy. I actually never did that. Wait, how are you like moving your shit? Like moving the camera so far back. Are you still moving your mouse? Are you like doing it like on like your stomach or something?
I can use max field of view in Apex without feeling nauseous. Alrighty, we have covered a lot of information, so hopefully you're still with me. Let's get into
Yeah.
the practical applications of screen distance. One
Was
of
that
the
Remnant? Was that Remnant? Nah, that is it? No, I don't think so.
distance. One of the most interesting implications, in my opinion, is how the distance between your eyes and the screen changes your perception of mouse sensitivity. In particular, during tense engagements in game, you may notice that you gradually move your head closer to the screen. What this means is that throughout this intense part of the game, you're essentially raising your mouse sensitivity and increasing the
Oh
perceived
shit,
speed of enemies moving around on your screen, which is the last thing you need in a time like that. And remember, this effect is
bro! That dude that was like laying back in his chair, he is chilling.
exponentially stronger the closer you are to that screen.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sitting pretty far back, then the impact is mild, but if you're already close, moving your head forward another 20 centimeters or so can have a significant impact on your perceived sensitivity and enemy speed. This doesn't mean you shouldn't sit closer or that sitting far back is far superior, it's simply worth considering. If you find any downtime during tense moments, perhaps try to sneak in a quick posture check to get yourself back in order.
That is
In
fair,
regards to being very close to the monitor, we tend to see this mostly with TAC FPS.
bro. Why is his monitor shaking and shit, dude? There's no way your arm is controlling the mouse when your goddamn arm is shaking the monitor. There's no control. There's no shot.
Players in Counter-Strike and Valorant. In my opinion, this comes down to the structured and predictable nature of gameplay. There is limited mobility, and with proper awareness and communication, being attacked from behind or the sides isn't that common. This means players can opt to put a massive emphasis on target size and clarity. By sitting
Oh yeah, right down there. He's in there, dude.
so close, enemies are very easy to see around the center of the screen, and their relative size is very large, so they can feel easier to aim at. This can work because of the fast time to kill, predictable locations of
Yeah.
enemies, and limited need for tracking. These
Yeah. Like honestly, the whole thing with like professional players getting really close to their monitors, I would say this is almost an exclusively Counter-Strike and Valorant thing. Like I don't really know of any other like shooters where pros are like digging their faces in their monitor because everything is already set in stone, more or less. It's just you're doing things based off reaction time. Like something a little bit more abstract, like a BR, like Fortnite or Finals or Apex or something like that. You're probably just like sitting back at like arm's length because you want to soak up as much information as you can, and you'll generally have a sense of like where you should be looking in terms of like there should be people like about here, like at the center of your screen, but random moments, once you get in close range of certain things, people are going to be like jumping in off of the side of your screen and you need to react. So if you think about all of that and it's like you're in there, like your peripheral vision is just dog shit, like when it comes to like trying to see shit on the side of your monitor.
Players are sacrificing the information in their peripheral vision for enhanced details around the center.
Yeah.
While I can understand the potential benefits of being so close, it's not something I would
Woo!
personally recommend doing. The eye strain, postural issues, and reduced situational awareness don't really seem worth it to me. You should be able to.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. Bro, if you're like trying to like enhance your performance, just go pick up aim training, to be honest. Let's not beat around the bush.
Achieve most of these same benefits without incurring so many drawbacks, with settling for a middle ground at around half arm's length. To find the distance that works best for you, it's important to consider that there isn't a perfect one-size-fits-all number, but we can follow some guidelines to find what works best for our own circumstances. First, what game are you playing? In my experience, playing on a 24.5-inch monitor, I tend to play most games at a bit under arm's length from the screen, which for me, with my head forward a little, is about 55 centimeters.
Yeah, I mean, let me see. I mean, I got like a 27, and my arm, it's about like arm's length. It's about like maybe from like my chair back to like my wrist. Like if I like flex my hands up, like, and have like good posture, it's like about the same.
FPS games where enemy size is important, so battle royales like PUBG and Apex, I tend to use a closer setup around 45 to 55 centimeters. In a game like Overwatch where engagements are fairly close and targets are bright and visible, a more comfortable 55 centimeters works just fine. In MOBAs like Heroes of the Storm, where information toward the edges of the screen is very important, I find myself moving the monitor back, so I'd be playing at about 60 to 65 centimeters. Any closer and gameplay can start to feel claustrophobic, where the important edges of my screen and of battles can start to feel undefined and hard to track. The same goes for games like World of Warcraft, where UI elements provide...
Oh, let's not even start on World of Warcraft, dude. There are much more, what do you call it? Pressing matters that pertain to World of Warcraft than the monitor distance.
Crucial information, so being able to comfortably see the screen without needing massive eye movements is very beneficial. My recommendation would be to experiment with your distance in some throwaway games, or by watching high-resolution VODs of that game. But be careful though, if the quality is too low, you may move closer to compensate, which isn't a fair test. The idea is to experience what differences you notice and where the sweet spot between comfort and detail sits for you. Keeping in mind that if you are playing the game while testing, your perceived mouse sensitivity and target speed will be changing. So try not to judge this based on your performance alone.
Yeah.
If you're looking for the image size that feels best to look at in your game, performance can come later. If you do end up changing your screen distance, whether that's further forward or backwards, give yourself some time to adjust to it and get comfortable with your settings again. You may want to adjust your sensitivity slightly, so if you moved closer, you could lower it, and if you moved further away, you could increase it. Not by much, you'd just be looking to make it feel the way it did before you changed that distance. And finally, your ergonomics and health matter. Sitting at a desk for hours on end is bad enough as it is, without throwing in complications from forward head posture or eye strain. So my advice is to keep that distance reasonable and sustainable. Also, try to line up your eyes with the top third of your monitor to reduce neck and eye strain.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. I just positioned my monitor like that to begin with. So, okay.
Been a topic I've wanted to cover for a while now. There is so much nuance to it that I wanted to get into, so hopefully the information wasn't too much or too boring.
No, that's fine, dude.
Let me know if you'd like to see more in-depth videos like this one, or if I should try to keep them shorter and focus on the answers and conclusions.
I like the in-depth ones. The in-depth ones are really, I don't know, I just find them more enjoyable.
You can check out the Clawmate mouse mod I designed over at struthgaminggear.com. Video all about how it works right here. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Oh, wait, does he hit it? Was he hit? Oh my god, I never seen that guy! Damn. That's a good ass shot. Oh man. Yeah, that was a really good video, and this is like my first time actually seeing Struth's face. I know he's like right there, but it's like so tiny. But yeah, this is a good ass video. He puts out like so many like educational aiming videos. Anytime he comes out with like an educational one, I'm just like, oh shit, new Struth vid just dropped. Um, yeah, I love it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Another banger from Struth. Um, I hope he keeps cranking them out. I love it, man. But yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.